Hey everyone, this is our last video of our series where we've been reflecting on our first year at Wartburg Seminary. Thank you for watching, and here is our last question.
So in kind of reflecting on this conversation, we've touched on call, we've touched on passions, we've touched on challenges. So if you were to take a look back mentally at the year that has been, what would you say this year has been a lesson in for you? We'll share our answers here as a final closing reflection, but we invite you to do the same in the comments below or in any other way you'd like to with one of us one-on-one or however is best for you. Maybe it's a conversation with you and your loved ones. Anyway, so what has this last year been a lesson in for you all, friends?
I think for me, this year has been a lesson in identity and kind of just, I feel like I've been continually challenged to again and again discover who I am and who I'm called to be in the world, and yeah, and how that fits with just who I am, right? Like, not I'm called to be this because other people think I should, or because I see the world telling me I should be X, Y, or Z, but really a looking inward of, yeah, a lesson in identity. That's my answer.
I would say my first year of seminary has been a lesson in patience and leading into the unexpected. I mean, first of all, the pandemic started in 2020. Like, nobody really knew what was going on. But yeah, I mean, as we all kind of spoke to earlier in the video, there were things that surprised us, and there were things that tripped us up along the way. And for me, a lot of this year has just been leaning into some of that uncertainty. As someone who loves to plan things and like wants to have an answer for everything, there have been times where I haven't had an answer, and I'm still wondering and thinking. There has been things that have happened that I had no idea that I would even be doing now. So yeah, it's taught me how to be uncertain, how to be patient in that uncertainty.
For me, I think this year in general, and especially at seminary, I've had a lesson in bravery. I feel like I've been really challenged to, similar to you, Charlotte, like figure out who I am and who I'm becoming, both in my role as a minister, but also just like as a human. And being like, I've been working on and being like formed in that like bravery to like be who I am, and continue to like figure out who that is, and like how I want to show up as a minister and as a human in these spaces that I get to be a part of. And also something you said, Brittany, that kind of brought this up in me, the bravery to ask more questions. I too am someone that likes to have all the answers. And I'm just like looking at the post-it notes that are all over my window here in front of me of like every time I like have a question that I didn't get an answer to, I like write it on a post-it note and stick it up on my window, and there's only like no post-it notes have come down, only post-it notes have gone up. So yeah, just the bravery to keep learning and to admit that I don't have the answers and to keep figuring out who I want to be as a minister and as a human.
I love that, Christina. I also was going to say, I think for me this year has been a lesson in humility, first off, like you were saying, of not having all the answers and being okay sitting in that space, or recognizing that there's multiple answers, or we can kind of guess that these are maybe some ideas, but we really can't understand what, you know, like atonement theories, like we can speculate, but we also like, you know, don't really know at the same time. Only, you know, God has some of those answers. So sitting in that faith-wise, and also, you know, both you, Charlotte, and Christina, and even you too, Brittany, a little bit touched on that identity and living into who you are and who you've been created to be. yeah, so it's just been a lesson for me too in sort of figuring out what that looks like for me as a person, for me as a minister, and also being much more comfortable sitting in that ambiguity of knowing we're still learning these things and we're still continuing to grow. And this is 1 year of our seminary experience. And so I'm excited to see what the next 3 years have in store for us and how we'll continue to be growing together.
So props to you, Emily, for using the words atonement theory in this discussion. We found one theological word.
Let's meet up again next year at the end of our second year and see what other words we know.
We almost made it without bringing systematics into this. So Emily, we got that in there. So
we did. I mean, part of me thinking about identity was thinking about like Winston's, righteous apple tree.
oh no,
the mango thing. I was thinking that for a while, which I think ties in more ways than I anticipated it would when we first heard about it. So.
Well, if Winston was watching this, I feel like he would all give us a theological lollipop and mango for our hard work.
Fingers crossed. Well, thank you all who are watching for watching our videos and our reflections, and yeah, we'd love to hear from you if you have any things that you want to share, anything that came up for you, or any questions you have, or more things that you'd like to hear from us. Yeah, thank you for watching. Always a pleasure meeting with you three lovely people. Cheers to being almost done with our first year of seminary. Yay, congrats everyone.